Hi everybody, I'm going to show you how I created my Dumbledore page, my February page in my Harry Potter mini calendar. I found the Dumbledore file on Etsy. It's by Sunny Studio Creations and I paid $5 for it. You can see here on my screen where I got it. It doesn't show Dumbledore as a file, but when I downloaded this file, it actually had a PNG of Dumbledore. So even though it doesn't show that it's there, when you download it, at least when I did it, it was there. So I was really excited about that. So I uploaded Dumbledore, and the quote I found just on Google Images, and I saved that as a PNG file, and I uploaded both of those to Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to place those on my page. Now I'm going to go get my calendar page, which I've already uploaded. I've shared my calendars in the blog. So if you click on the link to the calendar pages, you can upload those to Cricut Design Space and have those available to you. So since I've already uploaded them, I'm going to go out to and find files that I own. And I'm going to go down and find my February calendar. Also going to add my template page. I will size my template to 4 inches, and I'll size my calendar to about 2.5 inches just to get started placing everything on the card to make sure that it looks good. So my calendar right now is 2.5 inches. I'm going to change my template card to white and make it 4 inches wide. I change it to white just because it's just easier to see how everything's placed and see how it looks. So I'm going to resize Dumbledore, just put him in the corner. I just eyeball everything until it looks the way I want it to look. So you can change all of these things as you go, just depending on what you think looks good. Now this is the file that I uploaded from Google, and you're going to see that it's a little bit big and it looks like it's going to cover everything up. But when I print it, then I just cut around that design, so it's not going to be as big. So we're going to leave it that size for now. I'm also going to create a border for my calendar. I'm going to use metallic gold paper because I just think it looks good. I'm going to use some really dark blue paper with a moon that I found on Amazon as my background, and so the gold foil looks good against that. So I'm just going to size that, just eyeballing it. I'm going to cut a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to cut a piece of light chipboard for my calendar. So I made a copy of that template page, and now I'm ready to cut everything. The first thing that we're going to do is print and cut. So I'm going to send the file to my printer. Then I'm going to tell it what type of material. I'm using medium cardstock. Load it into my Cricut. And I have this on a little faster speed. Print and cut takes a little bit longer than this, but I just wanted to show you how it works. It's going to check those black lines in the black square just to know where it needs to cut. That's the guides that it uses. And then it's going to go in and it's going to cut all 3 pieces out for me. Now that that's done, I'm going to cut out my chipboard piece. So I just need to go down and select light chipboard. You want a really sticky mat, either a strong grip or you can tape your light chipboard down with painter's tape just to keep it in place. This pad that I'm using is really sticky, so it works really good. So on light cardstock or a light chipboard, it's going to cut once with a fine tip blade, and then it's going to cut one more time with the fine tip blade. Next I'm going to cut my foil, and I just cut it as medium cardstock. And then I'm going to cut my template, which I used this moon paper that I love, and I bought this moon paper on Amazon, and I will show you where I found it once we get through cutting. I cut it so that just the moon ends up in the corner, just like that. I ordered this paper from Amazon. It's called Reminisce Wizard 102 Collection Kit, and in a lot of the others I used Reminisce Wizard 101 Collection Kit. Okay, this Dumbledore calendar page is pretty straightforward. We cut out our piece of chipboard, and that's our main base. And then I cut out this piece. I found this Harry Potter paper on Amazon, and I loved that it had the moon, and so I made sure I lined up my cardstock so the moon could be in the corner to shine the light down. It gives kind of a neat illusion of that light. It goes with the saying about happiness being found when you turn on the light. So basically, this one's going to go together in just a couple minutes. We're going to glue the base and I like to take it, just line it up like this because it makes it really quick, and glue it down. And this Dumbledore I did print then cut instead of cutting out all the little pieces. A lot of times I do the little pieces. It's very painstaking. I like the look of it, but on this one I decided to go a little bit simpler, and I like the way it turned out. It prints pretty nicely, and it cuts it all out for you. Doesn't get any easier. So I'm just going to figure out where I'm going to place Dumbledore. My calendar, it printed the calendar for me using print and cut, and I'm just framing it on some metallic paper. I just like the shiny look of it. So again, I'm going to glue that on. And I'm just going to eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to try to, on this metallic paper, you want to try to not get glue on the metallic part just because it shows quite a bit if you do. So now I'm going to glue the calendar to my page. And I moved it over to this left side because I don't want to cover up that moon. I think that moon is one of the coolest parts. If you don't have paper with a moon, you could always print out a moon. You could find an image on Google and you could print and cut on your Cricut. That's something I do if I don't have the paper that I want. And I'm just going to glue Dumbledore down. And I actually bought these little gemstones at the Dollar Tree, and they work really good for the wand tip. I never trust the glue from these, especially the ones from the Dollar Tree, so I just dab a little bit of glue just to make sure. I have this tool. It's a pick-me-up tool. I believe it's a Silhouette. Yes, it's a Silhouette brand. And I use that on my little dots just so I can place them hands-free and can get them right where I want them without messing it up. So there's his wand and his light. And then the next part is this. I did the print and cut, and I didn't like it as a square. I just cut around, and I just do kind of a freeform. So I'm just going to cut out a design around it that I like, just so I have space for all of the other things that I wanted on the page. So there's no rhyme or reason, I'm just cutting the way I like it. Okay, there we go. And that's just going to go right there. This is the simplest calendar page that I did. A lot of the others are very time-consuming with tiny little pieces. But this one, I really loved this one, and it was one of the simplest ones, so you don't have to go to all that detail. And that's it. That's the Dumbledore page.